Temperature. Maybe you're a winter person. I much prefer the sunshine. That we've got a few more months to go before we get back there. Enjoy the calming music for one more minute. Wherever you are, grab your coffee, grab your tea. Maybe you're in your office. You want to close the door so we can take this 1 hour together. From Toronto. One more minute and we'll get started. Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your Thursday afternoon to be here with us. This is my favorite day of the week. Welcome. Okay, let's keep getting those welcomes in here. I love seeing where everybody is joining us from today. It's such an amazing group of people from Toronto. Maybe we're not too far from each other. All right, it is 2 o'clock, so I'm going to dive right into it. I am going to pause our music here and we will get started. First things first, if you have not signed up for our early learning summit, I highly recommend you do. Our summit is happening this Saturday, January 15th. There's a kickoff on Friday evening as well. We have a fabulous lineup of speakers for an amazing day of learning and growth on Saturday. I will be there. I will be the host of our early learning conference, and we have some amazing people. We have some panelists joining us today on Saturday, for some great conversation. So if you have not yet, you still have 2 more days to sign up. So please do. It is completely free. You don't have to pay a thing. So sign up now, secure your spot, and I hope to see all of you there on Saturday. So Saturday, January 15th. Register for free, and I certainly hope to see you all there. You will absolutely receive a certificate of participation, just like for the webinars. And if the amazing lineup of speakers and the awesome community is not enough, we have some fabulous prizes that we will be giving out at the conference as well. You could be entered for a chance to win an iPad. We have a free 1-year subscription to Hi Mama. So that's an amazing one. I certainly hope one of you here gets to be part of the Hi Mama family. You can get a $100 gift card to a retailer of your choice, a $200 classroom library, and there is a grand prize giveaway of over $1,000. That one is going to remain a secret until we kick off the summit tomorrow evening. So I certainly hope anyone who has registered, which I hope is everybody here, that you'll be joining the kickoff tomorrow afternoon as well. Okay, and just a quick disclaimer for anybody that is new to our webinars, we do want to make sure you know that this content is not personalized legal or financial advice for your centers. We hope that you take away some amazing tips, tricks, strategies, and techniques to use in your classroom. But if you are making any big changes, we do hope you are consulting the right people, such as a legal or a financial advisor. We're going to go ahead and do our land acknowledgement now. Oops.
Hi Mama acknowledges that our main headquarters is situated in Toronto, Ontario, on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, and the Haudenosaunee and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. Toronto itself is a word that originates from the Mohawk word Takaranto, meaning the place in the water where the trees are standing. As participants and guests in today's webinar, we are coming together from many different places around the world. We encourage you to learn about and acknowledge the land from which you participate.
And now our diversity and inclusion statement.
Hi Mama is committed to fostering an inclusive and welcoming environment for our employees, customers, and community. Hi Mama welcomes and celebrates individuals of all backgrounds, orientations, and identities. Our Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging Committee aims to ensure we provide a safe environment for everyone to thrive while bringing their authentic selves to work. Our mission is to promote an inclusive workspace for all employees through education, discussion, and celebration of our differences. Embracing these differences while coming together with a common purpose is what makes our team extra special.
Okay, and a couple housekeeping pieces before we dive in. This session is being recorded, so if anything does happen, do not worry. You will receive the recording by early next week. If you do require closed captions, absolutely make sure to just hit that CC tab on your Zoom so those are enabled for you. We will be sending a certificate to all of you here today. You will receive a certificate of participation. So I will be getting those out to everybody by early next week. Don't fret if you don't see the certificate today, they will be going out to you by early next week. And lastly, if you are having any Zoom issues, definitely don't hesitate to contact support.zoom.us. They will be able to support you with any Zoom related inquiries or issues that you are having. Okay, and if you are new here and you have not heard of Hi Mama before, welcome. Hi Mama is a childcare management app. We are here to support centers at all levels, for directors, children, educators, and families. In Hi Mama, you can do all of your parent communication, photo and video sharing, billing, you can track children's portfolios and assessments all right in the app. If you would like to learn more, Morgan has posted a link so you can learn more about Hi Mama and how we might be able to support you at your center. If you do sign up for Hi Mama, or if you are already part of the Hi Mama family, just know that we do have amazing support to help you get the program set up. If tech is a little bit daunting to you, do not fret. We have an amazing support team who will help you get the entire program set up. And also note, we do have some fabulous free activities available for you to use in your center and in your classrooms. We also have weekly podcasts available if you have not listened to our preschool podcast before. We also have tons of early learning articles that are put out. And also, if you did not know, we are a B certified company. So what this means is as we work with our amazing customers, we are also working to make a positive impact and contribution to the early childhood education space. And finally, your host. My name is Maddie. I am your host of the Hi Mama Helps webinar. I'm also a customer advocacy specialist here at Hi Mama and one of the early childhood educators here on the team. We do have a new face with us here today. Kaya is not here, but we have our fabulous Morgan on the chat today. Morgan, if you want to pop on and tell us a fun fact about you today.
Yeah, I don't know if it's so much a fun fact, but I'm just so excited for the webinar or the summit this weekend. I was able to go to the one that was last year and it was just so amazing. It was so amazing to see the great community that's out there. And I just really hope to be able to see all of you guys there this weekend.
Great fun fact, Morgan. I love that. We have almost 6,000 people coming to our summit on the weekend. It's a fabulous community of educators, a great chance to network and meet some new people. Okay, and last but not least, I'm officially done talking and we can welcome on our fabulous guests, Christina and Valerie. Christina and Valerie, before we get started, do you want to share a fun fact, something going on in your world today?
Sure, I'll get started and then hand it over to Christina, who's going to get us started with our content today. My name is Valerie Zarichny, and I know that's a mouthful, sometimes trips me up too, but I live in Greenville, South Carolina, and I'm an occupational therapist. I've been an OT in early childhood settings for many, many years, and I've been a national workshop presenter with Learning Without Tears for 11 years now.
And I'm Christina Bretz. I'm also an occupational therapist. I guess my fun fact would be that I just finished my doctorate last month. So that's wonderful to be finished with that and not have to think about that now. But I've worked with for Learning Without Tears for the past over 20 years. And I live in Lexington, Kentucky with my husband and 3 daughters.
Amazing. Congratulations, Christina.
Thank you.
Okay, I will stop screen sharing and hand it over to you.
Okay, so let's get started. Welcome everyone to the 4 music strategies to boost school readiness. And when we think about music, it's one of the most incredible gifts in the universe. It has the power to make us feel. It makes us feel calm and relaxes us. Like when we just logged on today, I was starting to feel so calm with the music that Maddie had on. It can also make us happy or sad. And music can inspire, encourage, and unite us. It can get us through challenging times. Young or old, music is a powerful tool. And this webinar will focus on how you can implement music with preschoolers to boost school readiness. So let's go ahead and look at our learning outcomes for today. We'll look at how we can implement music to boost social emotional skills. We're going to look at how we can use music to build foundation skills prior to letter learning, and also how it can be used to facilitate grip and how music can promote letter learning. So let's begin with our first learning outcome of implementing music to boost social emotional skills. Now, pre-K is one of the first places where young children learn to act independently in the world without the support or supervision of a family member. Music is effective in helping students understand socialization. And we know that songs can teach students how to greet one another, how to take turns, and many more skills needed for classroom collaboration and student cooperation. And we know a lot is happening in those preschool years, right? The children are like sponges, and children are going to make new friends. They're going to share toys. They're going to wait for their turn. Well, we hope they do. They're going to resolve conflicts, listen while others talk, regulate their emotions, decide between right and wrong. Phew! It's a lot happening in those early years. And it's up to you as an educator or parent to make this learning feel safe and easy. And music is the perfect tool to assist you. Now, have you ever heard a song and it naturally just makes you smile? Well, I'm going to play a song that will also make children smile. And guess what the song is called? It's called Smile. I'm going to play a small clip of the song with children singing, but I want you to think about how, as you're watching this video and hearing the song, I want you to think about how this song will help with social emotional learning. Let's watch.
Smile.
Smile. When you're happy, you will smile. And then in just a little while, you will see another smile. Smile, 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 smile. When something makes you very scared, call a friend who's always cared. You'll feel better when it's shared, so you can smile. When you're so mad you want to fight, please do not hit or hurt or bite. Use your words to feel alright, so you can smile.
Okay, there we go. I'm off mute. Sorry about that. Okay, so I want you right now to go ahead and type into the chat one word or thought about how that video made you feel. How did that video make you feel? Sharon says happy. Oh, we have a lot, Valerie, of happy, like dancing along. Yes. Bouncy, I see. I was kind of feeling
Cheerful
the same
and
way.
comforting.
Yes.
I love it.
I love it. It's a great way. And I think with this song too, you're seeing those emotions. And I think that's, oh, I love the one that says reassuring. Definitely. All of these, we all are feeling some of these different feelings. And that's really what music is going to do. Music is also going to ignite learning. And research shows that music activities promote early child development and cognitive abilities. It ignites the brain in multiple domains, including social emotional skills, like we just saw in the video of Smile. It also helps with body awareness, fine motor and gross motor skills, language and memory. And guess what? Even math. These skills include sharing, taking turns, listening to directions, and discussing feelings. And social emotional skills make up the thread that runs through everything we do. If a child is frustrated or scared or sad, they may have a hard time trusting you, focusing, or learning. And music can completely change the way a child feels. It can also promote engagement with peers. The last few months, almost the last 2 years, have been really challenging for all of us. Now, put yourself into the mind and body of a pre-K child. They might not remember a time before COVID when simply touching, playing, and being with each other with masks, extra cleaning protocols, and social distancing became part of their lives. So learning for young children requires them to interact with each other to feel safe. And of course, learning important social cues, which is really important right now. And music can really be that bridge for children. So I'm going to play a segment of a song right now, and the song is called I'm Happy to See You. This song is also available in Spanish, and this is a song that when I was in the pre-K classroom, we would do this song at the very beginning of the day. And so when the children would come in, it was a great way to greet the students. So when you sing this song with children, you would just substitute the different names of the children in your classroom. So let's listen.
I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see you this morning. I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see you this morning. Billy. I'm happy to see Bailey. I'm happy to see her this morning. I'm morning.
Okay, so with that song, you can see, and I love seeing the comments. Love it. This will make kids so happy coming in. And when you're singing their name, the first thing they're going to do is smile. So it's a great way to start your day and to have children walking in, hearing their name, and that you're happy to see them. So Valerie, why don't you take the next learning outcome?
I would love to. Thank you, Christina. Our next learning outcome is to implement music as a way to build foundation skills prior to letter learning. Children need specific skills to successfully enter pre-K and kindergarten prepared to learn. And I like to compare readiness to the concrete foundation of a house or a school. You need that strong base to build on. As we've been talking about, music naturally elicits movement, and it works important muscles, both big and small. And it's the easiest way to make learning more playful and joyful for young children. It's also one of the most effective teaching tools. When children connect lessons to multiple senses all at once, it increases and strengthens their academic success. Rhythm, rhyme, and repetition also encourage children to participate and have fun, all while learning necessary foundational skills for pre-K and kindergarten. Now, I'm wondering how many of you use finger plays with your students? Finger plays are used with children generation after generation, and there's many reasons why. When children use their own bodies, it helps them to connect to the world around them. Think about how children learn that they have one head and 2 eyes and 5 fingers. Finger plays are also a wonderful way to develop fine and gross motor skills, finger strength and coordination, and all of those are important physical skills that children need to develop to be able to write. I want to share one finger play with you that might be new. It's called 5 Fingers Play, and I'd love to have you all follow along with me. You see the visual there on your screen. So we're going to start with our finger and say 1 finger points, 2 fingers walk, 3 fingers stand up and talk, talk, talk. 4 fingers count, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look, I have one more. 5 fingers. 5 fingers up, 5 fingers down. 5 fingers go round and round. 5 fingers here, 5 fingers there. 10 fingers to wash my hair. Isn't that fun? It's something that's so easy to memorize, and it's great to have some of those just in the back of your mind that you can pull out anytime during a transition or to warm up the fingers before coloring or drawing. I love having finger plays to use with groups of children, especially. So I'd love to, I see you guys are already chatting and you love it, and it is a really cute one. But what is a skill that they're learning in that finger play? What did you notice? Yeah, math, number awareness, listening, and that imitation, counting, right? So finger plays
Motor
are
skills.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
What else
Motor
did you
skills.
see?
I see number recognition. Oh, you know what else I see? Body awareness.
Oh, I
Body
love it.
recognition. I
So
love
important.
that. Mm-hmm.
Great. You guys have great observations. So it's great when you can use a song or a finger play, and all of the music that you'll hear today are from the Learning Without Tears music albums. And it's so neat when you can have one activity that addresses so many different skills. All right, so what I want to do next is introduce you to a manipulative that we use along with music in the Handwriting Without Tears curriculum. They're called wood pieces, and each piece has a name. So you see there across the screen, big line, big curve, and little curve. And you can probably visualize that the wood pieces are used to teach children how capital letters are formed, but they have another very important purpose in the Handwriting Without Tears curriculum. We use them in a group of activities that we call wood piece play. And wood piece play activities are designed to teach foundation and readiness skills before students are ready to start learning letter formation. So they're used as an entry-level manipulative to promote engagement, participation, and active play. And they're fun because they can be used along with music too. And children, as we know, and we've been talking about, they learn so naturally and respond positively to music. So I'm going to play a short video of children singing and moving their wood pieces to a song called the Wood Piece Pokey. And this is a great activity to help them learn the wood piece names, as well as some important other skills. So let's watch.
Wood piece pokey.
Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You make the big line walk. You make the big line talk. Hello, hello. You make the big line walk. And then you move it up and down. You do the hokey pokey, put the big line down. That's what it's all about. You put the little line in front. You put the little line in back. You put the little line in front. And then you give a little tap. You do the hokey pokey, put the little line down. That's what it's all about. You put the big curve up. You put the big curve down. You put the big curve up. And you turn yourself around. You do the hokey pokey, put the big curve down. That's what it's all about. You make the little curve wait. You make the little curve skate. You make the little curve wait. And then you skate it all around. You do the hokey pokey, put the little curve down. That's what it's all about. You put the little line in. You take the little line out. You put the little line in. And then you give a little shout. Yippee! You do the hokey pokey, put the little line down. That's what it's all about.
Well, you guys already have such good observations about this video in the chat and some great questions too that I'm noticing. And I'd love to hear your other thoughts on skills that you noticed that children are learning as they participate in the wood piece pokey. I'd love to see some of the comments so far that have come in about those of you who have already used this song in your classrooms with students and children. So that's fun to hear. And one of you mentioned Map Man, which is another one of our popular musical activities.
I see a lot of following directions, gross motor skills, positional awareness. Ooh, this chat is just so fast.
I know, it's fun.
This is great. Yes. Following directions is such a big one.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I love the observation about the spatial awareness.
Yes.
And the position concepts. It's such a hard concept for children to grasp. And when you can use a physical object to help you understand in front and behind and above, and they're using their bodies, it gives it a lot more power.
Most definitely.
Oops, too fast.
And
Okay.
one of the questions, Valerie,
yeah, go
that
ahead.
has been coming up in the chat is, where can I find these songs?
Yeah, so I can answer that.
Yeah.
On our website, we'll be sharing with you the Learning Without Tears website at the end. We have a way that you can navigate to samples of all of these songs, which is a great way to get to know them and see if this music will work well for your setting. And then there's a web store as well where you can purchase physical CDs. We also have a digital application that has all of our a lot of animations and videos and letter building tools along with our music. That's another way to access the music. So there's a variety of options.
Great.
All right. Well, a couple of teaching tips for those of you who are new to the wood pieces. Like I mentioned, we do use them to build capital letters, and I'm going to discuss that next. But I just want to give you a couple of other tips. So first of all, they can be used for both large and small group activities. You can combine wood pieces with music, like you just noticed, but they're also just a good manipulative to work on rhythm as you're tapping along with music, or even to tap out syllables as you're learning to listen to those different parts of words. You can also use wood pieces as a free play option. It's really a fun way to kind of see what they come up with and their ideas as they play. And then, as you noticed in the wood piece pokey, they're a great way to model and practice those position concepts. And then finally, I want to leave you with this tip about the wood pieces, that we always want to call them the correct terminology of big line, big curve, little line, little curve, because that's the language that we use to describe capital letter building and writing. And it helps all children and adults to have that common language as they're describing those formation steps. So now I do want to show you how you can use wood pieces to build letters. If this is new to you, we always build capital letters on this blue foam matte surface. And I want you to notice the smiley face at the top. This consistent letter building surface helps orient children to the top and then promotes a top to bottom, left to right formation habit. So when we do this activity, we use a my turn, your turn sequence with children. So I would say, watch me, it's my turn, big line, your turn. And my student would, or child would imitate, watch me, it's my turn, little line, your turn. Watch me, little line, your turn. What did we make? We made capital F. The wood pieces on the mat and other letter play activities, there's so many ways that you can do letter play. They're fun and they're effective ways to help children learn both the letter formation sequence and the letter name. And we'll discuss alphabet knowledge and letter learning in just a few minutes. But first, Christina is going to share some musical strategies to teach another very important readiness skill. So Christina.
Thank you, Valerie. And I just want to say, I did see in the chats, Leah was asking, well, where can we purchase the wood pieces? And that's something else that is on our website that we'll take you to at the end of this webinar today. So thank you, Leah, for that. So let's look at our next learning outcome of incorporating music to facilitate teaching grip. And there are two things that I want you to remember when teaching grip. And if you incorporate both of them, you will help your children have that optimal grip, which will be with them for the rest of their lives. So these two things are using little tools and teaching grip using music that I'm going to share with you in just a few minutes. So first, let me talk about teaching with or using little tools. So you can see here, I have a little, we call these our flip crayons. So they're little crayons. And using little crayons such as that, or breaking crayons in half, don't break it in front of the child. I did that as a new grad of OT over 20 years ago, and I still remember how awful that was for the child. So having small crayons, breaking them in half, that's a perfect size for the little hands. And that's going to encourage fine motor skills naturally. Little pieces of chalk or sponges will encourage the use of the thumb, the pointer finger, and the middle finger needed to develop the necessary muscle strength for an effective grip. When children have that right-sized writing tool, it helps to improve their coordination. It's also going to help to promote that effective grip. So I want you right now to go to the chat and just chat in why you think we prefer to begin using crayons rather than pencils or markers. So why do you think we prefer to begin with crayons rather than pencils or markers?
I see Jenny said that you have to press harder.
Yes,
Right.
yes. So yes, that's great. Getting that feedback. Yes, Michelle says the resistance. I also saw colorful. Yes. I love that.
They attract children, right? They're
Yes.
fun, manipulative
Exactly.
to include.
And I saw reinforces grip. Okay, these are, you guys have got it. That's exactly right. So one of the reasons why we want to use the crayons is getting more feedback into the hand. Several of you said, you know, crayons are motivating. It's colorful. And of course, it is resistive, like some of you said. So the children get that great feedback about what their hand is doing. They don't get that great feedback when they're using markers because it's more of sliding on the paper. And of course, our goal is for children to use pencils, especially as they're getting ready for kindergarten, but they require more control and are certainly, well, just not as motivating as crayons, like you guys all said in the chat too. So demonstration of grip is key for success. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I tell parents and educators is demonstrate, demonstrate, demonstrate. It's such a key thing, especially with grip. And one of the best ways to make sure that children are understanding how to hold a crayon or pencil correctly is just to show them. So here's how to demonstrate grip. First, we want to teach our students or your child the name of their first 3 fingers. So this is my thumb, this is pointer, and this is tall man, the middle finger. And move your fingers around. Give a thumbs up, wiggle your thumb, have your child wiggle their thumb so that they can know, okay, this one's my thumb. Have them point with their pointer finger. This is my pointer. And then put tall man beside the pointer finger. Make a big open O pinch. This positions the thumb and pointer finger correctly. And of course, well, we want to use music, right? So we use a song called the Crayon Song to teach grip to children. It's to the tune of Open and Shut Them. And I'm going to play a video of how a teacher presents her lesson to share asynchronously with children. And it's all about learning grip. So let's watch.
Watch me first because I'm going to show you how to hold a crayon correctly. When I hold a crayon, my thumb is bent, pointer points to the tip, and tall man uses his side. I tuck my last 2 fingers in and take them for a ride. Our fingers have a very important job in holding our crayon. Now let's do it together. Do you see your crayon? Let's sing the crayon song as we pick up our crayon. Ready? Pick up a crayon, pick up a crayon. This is easy to do. Pick up a crayon, pick up a crayon. I just show my fingers what to do. My thumb is bent, pointer points to the tip. Tall man uses his side. I tuck my last 2 fingers in and take them for a ride. Now I'm holding it just right, but not too tight. Every finger knows what to do. And now I have a big surprise for you. Let's drop it. Drop your crayon and do it again.
Okay, so you saw with that lesson, she was going very slow as she was teaching the fingers and the placement on the crayon. And as children get to understand how to place their fingers on that crayon, we can sing it a lot faster with them so that I've done this several times with children where I'll just say, okay, right before we're getting ready to do something on a piece of paper, I'll say, okay, pick up a crayon, pick up a crayon. This is easy to do. And that's all I have to say. And they're placing their fingers on that crayon correctly. So you can sing this several times throughout the day before they go into that fine motor activity of holding that crayon and coloring. And you're seeing how we said drop the crayon and then they're picking it up. So they're getting that motor patterning of holding the crayon correctly as we go through this. And then the children can also check each other's grip. And, they love to check their neighbor. So being able to check their neighbor and help them if they need help. But also, one of the big things with grip is that we as adults have to have the correct grip, right? Because our children are going to be looking at us and we're having to demonstrate that correct grip. So we need to make sure we're showing that correct grip as we're using the music, and then they're going to want to do what we're doing and they're going to imitate our demonstration. So now I'm going to turn it over to Valerie. And Valerie, why don't you move to the final learning outcome?
Thank you, Christina. Our last section is all about using music to promote letter learning. Letter learning, which is also referred to as alphabet knowledge, is an important early literacy skill. And of course, you all know that, right? Essentially, we want children to be able to visually discriminate letters. For example, they should know that a capital E has 3 little lines and a capital F has only 2. They should be able to recognize and name both capital and lowercase letters. In addition, we want children to be able to say the sounds that letters represent and know how to form letters. It's a lot. Even if children are not yet ready to write their letters, it's really important for them to learn the proper sequence to build a letter with a manipulative like the wood pieces or with Play-Doh or any other letter play option. Building letters first will lead to greater success in knowing how to form and write letters later on. But when it comes to alphabet knowledge, we want children to see a letter and be able to quickly identify the letter name, but not only that, the letter sound and how to form it. So now that we have a common understanding of what alphabet knowledge is, let's reflect on our own classrooms and individual students to consider what students may know or not know as it relates to letter learning. So let me ask you this. When a child can sing the ABC song, does that mean that they know their letters? Of course not, right? Before a child is introduced to the letters, they don't yet realize that there's symbols that represent our spoken words and symbols that represent what they're singing in the ABC song. They don't know that those symbols must look a certain way or be oriented in a specific way. So take a look at this image here. It's a dog, right? This is a dog regardless of which way the dog is facing, if it's upside down or right side up or laying down or sitting or on its back, it's still a dog. The dog keeps its identity regardless of its orientation. But when we introduce letters, that thinking changes. So what is this? A lowercase b, right? But what happens if we turn it in the other direction? It's no longer a B. It's changed its identity. And that's how symbols work. With symbols, the orientation and position matter. So not only do we blow children's minds that direction and position matter, but we also let them know that the ABCs that they've been singing have 2 different symbols. We introduce children to both capital letters and lowercase letters and let them know they have the same name. So notice here on this slide, we see that capital A looks very different from lowercase a, but they have the same name, and that can be confusing. And did we mention that there's also sounds for every letter? And some of them even represent more than one sound, like letter C. Letter C can have a hard sound, k, like in the word cat, and it can have a soft s sound, like in the word cider. So let's talk about letter sounds a little more. And I know that many of you are familiar with the term phonological awareness. And phonological awareness is the ability to hear and manipulate parts of spoken language. The skills are at an auditory and verbal level only. So we don't need letters in print for phonological awareness. It requires the ears and the mouth only, not the eyes. One of the skills learned under phonological awareness is phonemic awareness. And this is understanding that cat begins with the k sound. When we teach letter sounds, it's important to consider that students have varied learning styles, and it's best to use a combination of visual, tactile, and auditory strategies in order to reach learners most effectively. Taking advantage of all possible approaches and beginning at an appropriate pace for the age group is key to making sure each child has learned the alphabet. It's also important to establish the child's developmental level in order to know where to begin in regard to the child learning letter sounds. By establishing each learner's baseline, you're then able to help them achieve greater growth throughout their pre-K and kindergarten years. Using real objects and pictures to help children listen to beginning sounds is a really great way to promote this learning. For example, what's the first sound that you hear in dinosaur? D. What about dolphin? D. I'm going to play a segment of the starting sound shuffle, which is one of our rhyming activities that you can find on our music albums. So let me play this. Get it set up.
Words have sounds that we can hear, so let's say the first sound loud and clear. T, 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 t. 10.
10.
Tigers.
Tigers.
Tiptoe.
Tiptoe.
10 tigers tiptoe.
10 tigers tiptoe.
10 tigers tiptoe.
10 tigers tiptoe.
If you can hear the first sound, then pick new words and try it again. R,
R.
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 Roosters.
Roosters.
Run.
Run.
Races.
Races.
Roosters run races.
Roosters run races.
Roosters run races.
Roosters run races.
That activity continues on to cover more starting sounds, and starting sounds are an important part of phonological awareness in helping with those early literacy skills. And I love our music activities and those rhymes that we have on our music albums because they're a great template. Once you've done the activity with children, you can substitute different sounds. You can add things into that finger play. And it's just fun to get those fresh ideas to use and then build on. I want you to remember that children who cannot hear and manipulate the phonemes of spoken words will have a very challenging time learning how to relate phonemes to letters when they see them in written words, which is essentially what phonics is. So phonological awareness is a foundational skill for later phonics success. Let's go ahead and review the learning outcomes that we covered in this webinar so far.
Words have...
Oops. We hope that you guys, and we're going to take some questions in a little bit, but we hope that this short webinar has helped you to better understand and give you some new ideas and ways to implement music to boost social emotional skills, to build foundation skills prior to letter learning, to facilitate teaching grip, and to promote letter learning. So before we take your questions, Christina is going to share some resources with you.
Great. Thank you, Valerie. Yes, I want to share a few resources with you. First, many of you may want to learn more about readiness activities to prepare children for kindergarten. And at Learning Without Tears, one of our most popular workshops is our Emergent Writing for Pre-K workshop. And in this workshop, you'll use readiness and writing activities to prepare children for kindergarten. You'll learn multisensory and research-based teaching methods. You'll collaborate and share actionable strategies and apply new learning in your practice. And you can find that on our website to be able to register for. And remember to encourage families and caregivers to support learning at home. At lwtears.com/resources, parents and caregivers can explore free webinars. We have resources including effectively teaching letters and sounds, free activities and downloads. You can also access and print these resources to send home with your students, making it easier for families and caregivers.
And Christina, I want to interrupt you really quick.
I know. I was going to say,
in case anyone is going to our website today, we just released a new format of our website, and whenever that happens, there's always some kinks to iron out. So some of the links aren't working correctly right now, and the website as a whole, it's being updated. So it might be a little slow or not functioning as well as we'd like it to. So if something is frustrating, give it a day or two and try it again.
And I think, would it be okay right now to go to the website, Valerie, just to show them the homepage of the website so that they can see that? That would be great. And that way you'll be able to see the resources are there. You'll see where we have our early learning, and just to be able to purchase some of those products. I know you guys were asking about the music and asking about the wood pieces, and
do you want me to walk them through a couple of areas?
That would be great.
So under subjects, you can click writing to find our handwriting curricula, and then early learning will also have that early learning handwriting component, as well as some of our other programs that you can explore. Under professional learning, you can view the different workshop options that we have. If you like our style of presenting in this information, there's lots and lots of workshops to choose from. Some are on demand, some are live. We're going to be back in person soon. And then the resources, I'm going to take you to the resources just because I know a lot of you are really interested in finding more information about the music. And if you filter resources under demos and samples is one of the filters here. Make sure that everything's working right here. And it's towards the bottom, if I remember correctly. There's music samples here that you can listen to. And then of course you can go to our web store under the shop button and search for wood pieces or the music CDs and navigate through all these different fields depending on your role, and you'll find what you need.
Great, thank you, Valerie. So before we go to any questions, I do want to invite you to visit go.lwtears.com/HiMama10 to learn more about the products we mentioned during today's webinar. And for a limited time, we are offering 10% off all products and workshops by using promo code HiMama at checkout. So I just wanted to see if we have any questions out there that we need to answer. I know we don't have much time, but I want to make sure we answer some of those questions that have been coming in.
Hey, Valerie and Christina, sorry to just butt in there.
Yes.
Do you want me to stop sharing, Maddie? So
yeah, if you want, Valerie, that would work well. Thank you. Okay. We did get quite a few questions.
Okay.
So I'm glad we were right on time, and we'll definitely go through them. But let's just give you a minute. Have a sip of water. Take a quick break. That was a lot of information. Can you all see? Let me try that again. There we go. Can you all see the special guest Q&A there? You're good. Amazing. Okay, so before we go through a couple of our questions, take a breather. Thank you so much for that. That was fabulous. The chat was going off like crazy, as I know you saw. Everyone was loving it. I am going to launch our quick poll of the day. We just want to get a quick understanding from our audience today. How do you track currently cognitive learning and development at your center? What is it that your center currently does? Are you doing paper documentation, online documentation, or is it something that your center does not have to track? We would love to get some of that information from you. And if you'd like to learn more about how Hi Mama can support you in seamlessly tracking learning and development automatically in the program, let us know, and we can share with you how Hi Mama might be able to support you at your center. Okay, Valerie and Christina, are you ready for some questions? You good? Okay.
Of course.
Amazing.
Yes.
So
yes.
we had a couple of quick questions come in, and I'm pretty curious to know the answers to some of these as well. So the first question, we're curious. I saw a few people ask if you know the specific age around phonological awareness does start to develop. I know we have a lot of different educators who teach various ages on our webinar today, so I saw that question come through.
There's a wide variety of readiness levels. I know 18-month-olds that have been able to identify letters, and others that are still in kindergarten and really struggling. So, but that pre-K year, that 4 to 5, is really the best time, because more children are ready during that year to start hearing those sounds and identifying them and saying them. But I think it's great to introduce those activities to younger children, especially at the level of showing an object and seeing if can they hear and repeat back the sound that they hear. What we recommend is holding off from associating the letter symbol with the sound, because that's a higher level skill. So just seeing if they can hear and repeat the sounds that you say in words.
And I think
Absolutely.
that's why I love that syllable. I'm trying to think of the starting
sound shuffle.
Yeah, the starting sounds shuffle. Say that fast 5 times. But that one is a great one to be able to do with children, to really get them to get that starting sound as well.
Absolutely. Okay, that's amazing. And another question that came through, a little bit of kind of on the same level about ages. What age would you say those finger playing activities are the most effective? If you work with infants, or if you work with kindergarten age children, like where are those best put into a child?
I think you can start those at age 2. You can start those at a young age, and just getting children to really doing this more of the 3 finger of the pointer finger and the middle finger and the thumb. This action, with their Cheerios and with finger paint, and getting them to just understanding their fingers and doing those finger plays, and then you can continue that. It's great for our preschool children, and we use, for our 4s and 5s, but it can start, I think, as early as 2.
Amazing. Another question that came through from the audience today is they're wondering what you suggest is easier, whether using a song they already know with their children and just changing the words a little bit to support some of the activities that you've shown us today, or is it best to teach them those new songs that go along with your activities specifically?
I think both are great.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would choose one over the other,
Right.
unless it was important to you that they always sang the correct original words correctly, because they might start accidentally subbing in those other words. So if it's an important song in your culture or anything like that, then I would maybe not mess with those words. But I think it's kind of neat to have a familiar tune. I think that it's easier to memorize the wording when it's you start with part of the activity that's familiar. But Christina, do you have a different take on that?
No, I completely agree with you. And I think it's, once you start doing these over and over, I saw someone in the chat, I think it might have been Angela, said that she sings these songs in her sleep. She's done them so much, with the grip song and those kind of things. So I think that's something that you'll see too, is that once the children get it, they want to continue in repeating that song, whatever song it is going to be great for them as well.
Fabulous. I also have a question kind of on my own that popped into my head. Sure. So as you were going through all these different strategies and learnings about how music can support school readiness, I'm curious, have you ever found that these musical strategies in the classroom also support with self-regulation? Like, have you ever found that they also help when there's high energy level in the classroom to then bring music in to calm a classroom. Kind of a different take on bringing music in.
I can answer that one.
Yeah.
Yes, most definitely. And I think you saw with the Wood Piece Pokey, that song earlier that we did. We also have a song called the Tap, 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 where we use the two big lines. And I have had teachers that have taught for 30 years that will say that is one song where I can get children all to sit for like 4 minutes and they listen and they're calm and they follow those directions of the song. So it's really the active listening skills and the following of directions is really important with a lot of these songs that we did today that can help with that too, with the self-regulation.
Absolutely. That's amazing. I mean, 4 minutes is like an hour in,
Yes.
in a toddler classroom. So
Exactly.
that's a great takeaway. Well, Valerie and Christina, thank you so much for being here with us today. That was such a fabulous presentation. I know our audience was so engaged and are taking away some really helpful tips for their classroom. So thank you so much for being here with us today.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us. Yes.
Of course. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Before we officially wrap up our webinar today, I did just want to show a quick reminder. You will all receive show notes. I saw a couple questions in the chat. You will all get a recording as well as the slides. We will get those out to you by early next week, I promise you, as well as your certificates of participation. And next week, Thursday, 2 o'clock Eastern time, we are always here and ready for you. We have another webinar on a very important topic. We will be meeting with Tony to talk about the childcare labor crisis. I've been talking with a lot of childcare directors lately, and I know that there is a very big staffing crisis happening, and it's a very challenging time for a lot of childcare centers. So do not forget to sign up for next week's webinar. Even if you cannot make it, please still register and you will get the slides and the recording. And lastly, if you are not connected with us, absolutely do so. We have a lot of different social media accounts. You can connect with us on our Facebook Circle Time page. It's a fabulous community just to chat with other educators, share ideas for your classroom. We also have our Instagram account where we post some really exciting updates, as well as contests that you can enter. And Kaya is always on there ready to chat with you, as well as our preschool podcast. There is a new one that happens every single Friday. So do not miss out on those. As well, please sign up for our activities corner. I know time is sometimes non-existent in early childhood. So if you need some support with activities, sign up for activities corner and you will receive free activities right to your inbox. They're already attached to specific learning outcomes for you. So definitely don't miss out on that. Otherwise, thank you so much for spending time with us today. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Thursday and stay safe and healthy. And I hope to see you all at our summit this Saturday. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Take care.